The following presentation is non-profit and is intended for entertainment purposes only. All events within this presentation are non-canon. Batman and all related characters are the property of DC Comics, Warner Brothers, and their respective owners. Hilarious Matrimony, a Batman fanfiction, written and read by Robert Cantor. Chapter 6. The Bible describes a person's eyes as the lamp of their body. Storytellers like Edgar Allan Poe believed that the eyes are the windows into the soul. Whenever Dick looked into Corey's eyes, he saw that they were full of light and love, despite the many injustices that had been dealt her, and he knew that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. As he looked at the monitors in front of him, looking into the eyes of the Joker, all he could see were black holes, sucking in everything around them, distorting it, and crushing it all into infinity. These were the eyes of a psychopath.
"Who is he?"
asked Corey. No one knows, maybe not even the Joker himself, replied Dick. He's given over a dozen accounts of his past, all of them different. There's only one constant: Batman. The computer played an audio file from one of Batman's previous encounters with the Joker. Hearing the clown's voice was enough to make Dick's skin crawl, but he was desperately looking for the insight he needed to save his future wife.
"Sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes another. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice."
Dick and Corey were locked up inside the Watchtower. The Watchtower's security system was a marvel of Kryptonian technology, Martian technology, Thanagarian technology, even tech from New Genesis and Apocalypse. They should have been safe, but the Watchtower had been broken into in the past. Dick's mind ran amok with nightmares of the Joker shooting into space on a suicidal carnival food stand with rockets attached.
"We faced Trigon and won. We're going to get through this,"
said Corey.
"And when we do, I intend to marry you."
After Dick's parents were murdered, he was raised by Bruce, who taught him to be better than the monsters they fought against. Corey, on the other hand, was trained by the warlords of Okara, who taught her to destroy her enemies lest they rose again to destroy her. Corey, the Joker wants revenge on me because I beat him when I was a kid. It doesn't matter if Batman and the others send him back to the madhouse. He isn't going to stop. He'll just break out and try this again. I'm not going to let him come between us.
"Dick."
Joker might walk like a man, but he's a monster. He has no regard for human life, any life, and he hates everything that's good about this world. As far as he is concerned, everyone around him is a victim and a toy for him to break and dispose of at his pleasure. If he comes after us, I won't stop you. The Joker sat at his chessboard opposite the mannequin dressed as Batman.
"Pawns are like razor blades. Sharp, disposable, and you can never have enough. Pawns are also always the first pieces to move, unless you're a complete jackass and use your knights first."
The Joker moved all his pawns forward 2 spaces.
"Mr. J, isn't that an illegal move?"
The Joker had hired 2 new girls, a silent mime named Betty and a clown named Lucy.
"Lucy, my dear, you're new at this, so I'll cut you some slack, but I will enlighten you."
The Joker pulled out a knife and hurled it across the room, missing Lucy's head by a few inches.
"The whole wad is just a big bad joke, so the only sensible way to live in this world is without rules."
I'm not going to ask again, said Jason. "Where is he?"
If you want to know where Mr. J is so badly, why not ask Chad?
Replied Harley, unmoved by the Red Hood's threats. "Who, dare I ask, is Chad?"
The guy with the computer.
"What guy with a computer?"
You mean you don't know?
asked Harley.
Alright guys, just hear me out for a second. After the last time Mr. J and I broke up, I went on a soul-searching journey and discovered the meaning of life. And what I learned blew my mind. You see, none of this is actually happening. There's a crazy, single, religious zealot with a computer, and this is all happening in his sick, twisted imagination.
Just then, all the extra spicy chili cheese dogs that Harley had consumed earlier came back to haunt her.
Screw you, Chad!
Yelled Harley, racing to the bathroom. "Well, we know what to get her for Christmas," said Jason. "A book of matches, some homemade napalm, and a cheap urn." It had been over a week since the Joker delivered his message at the Basilica. So far, there had been no incidents in Gotham City or anywhere else that could be attributed to the Joker. But Batman and his allies were worried that it just meant they hadn't found the bodies yet. The Joker wasn't just going to give up because they hid Dick and Corey in the Watchtower and locked the door. He was either going to force his way in, or he was going to find someone else to vent his frustration on. Batman followed up every lead he had and came up empty. As much as he hated it, there was nothing for him to do but wait until the Joker made his move. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, it happened. Every single screen in Gotham City was invaded by a blue-haired female clown and a female mime that remained silent.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We're Betty and Lucy, Joker's new helpers, and we're here to present Nightwing and Starfire with a very special surprise. You mean to tell me that he got 2 new girls?
Asked Harley.
I'm gonna kill him! I'm gonna castrate him! I'm gonna myrtleize him! That last one might not be a word. Remind me to see if I can copyright it. Gee, Joker, it sure was nice of you to get Birdbrat and Stargirl a wedding present, even though they didn't invite you to the wedding,
said Lucy.
I'm just that kind of guy. But since they're too rude to accept my gift in person, I've decided to leave it with their friends. My present should be arriving at Titan's Tower any minute now.
After Joker made his announcement at the Basilica, Dick alerted all his and Corey's old friends from the Teen Titans, fearing that Joker might decide to vent his frustration on them. The only ones he couldn't get a hold of were Ravager and Jericho. Nearly all the rest had gathered at the Titans Tower for safety. "The tower is in lockdown. Batman is ready to move as soon as I can pinpoint the origin of Joker's broadcast," said Cyborg.
All right, Titans, listen up,
said Donna.
This maniac has made the mistake of messing with our family. Nightwing and Starfire are ready to spend the rest of their lives together. He wants to ruin that for them. And since he can't get to them, he wants to use us to hurt them. But are we going to give him the satisfaction?
No!
While Cyborg traced the source of Betty and Lucy's broadcast, the rest of the Titans took their positions throughout the tower. After 5 minutes without any development, Garfield Logan, the Changeling, started crooning Elvis Presley's "Love Me Tender."
Really?
asked Raven. "Well, the Joker interrupted our dance lesson," said Gar. "I figure I might as well work on my Elvis impression while we wait. Imagine how disappointed Dick, Corey, and everyone else will be if I'm not ready for the wedding." Raven was an empath. She saw beneath Gar's nonchalant and carefree attitude. He was just trying to break the tension like he did in the past. The truth was that he was just as tense as the rest of the Titans. Together they had faced Trigon and won. By comparison, the Joker didn't seem like much of a threat. But the stories about him made everyone's blood run cold. In the past, the Joker had outsmarted the Justice League, and there was a rumor going around that he had actually beat Ra's al Ghul at chess.
We'll get through this,
said Raven.
and when we're done, we really need to work on your tango.
Whatever you say, beautiful. Some time ago, the Titans had faced the demonic overlord, Trigon, Raven's father, one last time. When the confrontation was over, Trigon's death cries echoed across the entire multiverse. Raven was free of her father's influence forever, free to embrace her feelings for Garfield. But there was always something, not just their own insecurities. The Titans waited a whole 10 minutes before they heard the sound of property damage.
What's the situation, Victor?
Asked Donna. Guys, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but... Before Cyborg could finish, a giant yacht crashed into the tower, promptly followed by another. All right, who has the... Gar peered through the hole in the tower so he could get a look, and his jaw dropped.
Well, there's something you don't see every day,
said Raven. To be continued. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, then like this video. Subscribe for more updates, and if you really want to help this channel out, click the links in the description below and buy my books.